One of the best possible ways to escape a crumbling civilization that's being ravaged by zombies is to get on a boat and go as far away as possible. Many boats are pretty expensive, and not all were meant to be boarded for long periods of time. Some of these vehicles will get you to your remote lake hideout, while others might be more suitable for long-term inhabitation. From affordable boats made from wood and bamboo to yachts that seem like they would stand the test of time, here are the best boats for the zombie apocalypse.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is your host, American Eye. Now make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that bell for notifications. Now let's get started.
But first, big shout out goes to Victor for leaving us this comment on one of our recent videos. We think you might enjoy the video we got in store for you today. Leave us a comment on which boats you think would be the best during the zombie apocalypse, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 11. The Inflatable Raft. The Inflatable Raft certainly doesn't seem like the first choice of boat you would go with, but after further analysis, it seems to have quite a few advantages. First of all, you don't need to worry about trying to get fuel, since you'll be doing all your work with your arms to get around. Second, the price of an inflatable raft can be as low as $27 like we see here on Amazon.com, which makes it almost an essential item to keep in your trunk. Third, you'll have less visibility to other boats or ships that float by you, which will certainly reduce the risk of you getting attacked. And last but not least, they're very quiet, and you won't have to worry about zombies hearing you make noise while trying to start a troublesome motorboat. Of course, there are some setbacks. You'll have to worry about the material deflating, but it should last you long enough to get you to a remote island or lake somewhere to hide out. Make sure you bring some life vests and paddle quickly because the zombies are hoping they can get you. Number 10. The Python. The Python is a vehicle that you can drive about 80 miles an hour on land and 45 miles an hour on water, which almost makes it a great vehicle for the zombie apocalypse. We can get an idea of what these look like by visiting the Watercar website. They often resemble an off-road car on the land and a vehicle that's about to sink while it's in water. While it's on the road, you probably wouldn't even guess that it has amphibious capabilities. The company Watercar made it their personal challenge to build the fastest amphibious vehicle in the world, and they set a record in 2010 for amphibious speed with their Python model. Each one costs about $150,000, so you'll have plenty of time to save up for it until the apocalypse arrives. Or will you? Seems like a reasonable investment and almost makes any terrain drivable. Number 9. The Velum. If you're actually planning on living on your boat, you might want to take a look at what they do in Southeast Asia for some inspiration. Some of these houseboats can reach about 100 feet long, and they can hold up to 30 tons of cargo on board. Merchants and royalty have been known to decorate these to the point where they become comfortable living quarters. While some are motorized, some occupants prefer not to rely on the motor since they can break down fairly easily in some countries. It's made from basic materials such as wood, coconut fiber, bamboo, ropes, and other eco-friendly materials. You might be surprised about how cozy these boats can be, but one storm can easily take one to the bottom of the river. The main setback about these houseboats would be that if it gets hit by a storm, but if you keep it close to the shore, it could make for a good hideout. Number 8. The Amphibian Quad. So what would make an ATV even better during the zombie apocalypse? What if it had the capability to actually turn into a jet ski? Seems as though zombies wouldn't possess the motor coordination to be able to swim properly, which makes this vehicle as valuable as gold during the apocalypse. A Gibbs Quad Ski Amphibious 4-wheel quad won't keep water from getting in your way during your escape plan. While everyone is getting stuck on land in heavy traffic, you can possibly be the first one to make it to a nearby island, safe from zombies. For the moment, it can reach 45 miles an hour on the land and has a 15-gallon fuel tank, which will keep you on the run for a while. Number 7. The Rinspeed Scuba. This amphibious car is developed by a Swiss company called Rinspeed and is the first of its kind. It can be driven both on land and underwater. While some cars can be turned into boats fairly easily, this one you can actually make it into your own private submarine for the right price. How much would you guess one of these costs? If you guessed $1.5 million, good job. If you're willing to fork over the cost for this, you could have your own James Bond style vehicle. This is an all-electric vehicle which uses 3 motors that allow it to drive at the bottom of the water. Be careful of hitting a coral reef or driving into something else that might get you stuck though. Definitely get some practice with this before you use it in the apocalypse. Number 6. A Kayak. It's basically impossible for zombies to chase you while you're kayaking. Kayaking skills go hand in hand with off-roading skills, and if you can take your off-roading vehicle to a proper kayaking location, you should be in the clear. You may have to escape to an island somehow in order to fully escape the zombies, and the most price-efficient and safest way to do it would be by kayak. Sure, you could try to swim to the island, what if there are zombie sharks, or if the water's contaminated? Keep in mind, your paddles could be used as a zombie fighting tool. So get your wetsuit on and hit the rivers for some practice, because it could save your life when the apocalypse is finally here. Number 5. Plastiki. If you don't have the funds for a boat, you can certainly consider making one out of recyclable material. This ship, built entirely from recyclable plastics in 2009, specifically 2-liter bottles, was set to sail across the Pacific. David de Rothschild, relative of the notorious Rothschild family, was the main force behind this project, making some wonder if there was a sinister motive behind it. The entire boat ended up weighing 11 tons, and it used an organic glue to keep it together, and ways to harvest food on board were even created. In 2010, it set sail from San Francisco and arrived in Sydney Harbor just a few months later. David was given all kinds of awards for his efforts for making everyone a little bit more aware of climate change. With his ties to the New World Order, you have to wonder if this was a way to push an agenda like global warming. In any case, it could still be useful during the zombie apocalypse. Number 4. A pedal boat. Most of the time, people get on pedal boats are looking for a relaxing way to enjoy a body of water and get a little exercise at the same time. It might be a lot less relaxing or romantic when a zombie apocalypse is here, but it could certainly prove to be a reliable method. By not having a reliance on fuel, you can basically pedal until your legs are tired or until your boat begins to have problems. The number 1 pedal boat on Amazon goes for about $719, but it has an obvious advantage over Inflatable Raft, besides the price tag. Pedal boats typically have some kind of shade, which will also protect you from elements like the sun. Your legs are also more powerful than your arms, which could help you cover a longer distance. Pedal boats are a little bit less portable than inflatable rafts, so choose carefully. Number 3. The Turinor Planet Solar. If you take advantage of the sun's power, you would essentially travel around the world, and that's exactly what the Turinor Planet Solar did. In 2012, it became the first electrical vehicle to circumnavigate the globe. This can certainly be one of the best boats for the zombie apocalypse, but like many boats on this list, it's going to have some setbacks. Utilizing solar technology isn't going to be cheap, and it can cost roughly €15 million to make. Solar power boats have been popping up in places like Australia that might be cheaper, but still difficult to obtain. You can't just go on Amazon and purchase one. You might have to find a way to build one yourself for an affordable price. Number 2. Alaskan Fishing Boat. Fishing off the coast of Alaska can certainly be a hazardous profession. These fishermen risk their lives in order to provide us with some of the best seafood in the world. Fishing in Alaska due to the unpredictable weather has made it one of the most dangerous professions in the world. Some of the boats have been designed with big storms in mind to help them make it out alive. Since it has the ability to gather large amounts of food with one big catch, it certainly deserves a place on this list. Seafood should still be rather abundant, possibly uncontaminated from the zombie outbreak. Just make sure you bring some tartar sauce and some melted butter along with these boats, and the end of the days might not be so bad. And number 1. Azam. They're not just selling oil in the UAE, they're also burning it. The title for the world's biggest yacht goes to the Azam that measures an outstanding 590 feet long. That's almost twice the size of a football field. As long as it's got enough fuel, we see nothing wrong with these boats' ability to withstand the apocalypse. The only thing that might work better than this is a battleship, but we're sure you'd much rather live on this thing. It's also the fastest yacht in the world, which will ensure its escape from the zombies. Since it's the personal yacht of the President of the United Arab Emirates, it's actually equipped with its own missile defense system and a getaway submarine. If you got the money, you can consider getting something like this. It's powered with a 94,000 horsepower engine and can reach a knot speed of 31 in water 60 feet deep. There must be some wild apocalypse parties going on this yacht.
So what'd you guys think of that video? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and help us get to 1 million subscribers. We're almost there.